Hi, and welcome to N.R.C.C. Business Talk. I'm here with Maurits Dohmen, the chief architect, the CEO, the guru, the guy who does it so well for so many years. And I'm not I'm not kissing ass here. I'm just really happy to be with him because I've seen his events and I really enjoyed it, which is not very often in the business community where normally what's happening, you get bored. Sometimes to death, but you survive because there's food. So, Maurits.
Yes, Lucian, thank you.
Yeah, I know you don't like the introduction, but there you go. I had to unload.
Yeah.
How do you do it? Why? I mean, how did you start at this? Because it's different from what everybody else is doing.
You refer to the events?
Yeah.
By going to the other events. And
getting bored.
Kind of getting bored, like what you just described.
Mm-hmm.
So I took a different approach. I'm kind of a theatrical person. Mm-hmm. So I find also if you come to an N.R.C.C. event, and it's a dedicated event, so we're not talking about network drinks, but about Orange Night or Night of the SMEs or CEO dinner, it has to be more than just a dinner. So together with the team, we try to create an evening where you go out to dinner while you are at a rock concert. And in the meantime, you have the feeling you're at the movies. Mm-hmm. So we add these things to the existing part, which is just a dinner and mingling with other people. And this is what makes it different.
You're providing content, basically. Most people are treating you with food. You give them food for the mind.
Yeah.
Where is it coming from? Do you invent it? Who is taking part in, organizing the happenings at the N.R.C.C. events?
First, interesting to know is that I am a great fan of Pink Floyd. And as you well know, Pink Floyd is known for their elaborate stage and concerts. So I have something with screens, lights, and this kind of thing. So what usually happens is that, let's say a year before an event takes place, I drive a lot for the chamber because I have to go outside Bucharest to Timișoara, to Iași, to Brașov, to Constanța, Cluj. So I spent many kilometers, hours in my car, and I listen also to a lot of music.
It's more hours than kilometers in Romania.
Exactly.
Because of the roads. So,
this is why I like to travel at night, actually. So it's much shorter, the time when you travel at night. But I listen then to music, and then some certain song sticks in my head and starts shaping up how that would fit in an event and what kind of visuals should go with this. And then usually when I shape that up, I call my team. Based on their feedback, then we shape it up. And from that moment on, a whole lot of things start to happen.
What is the major gain you're coming back home with after one of your events?
When you refer to tables, I think you specifically mean the Night of the SMEs.
Also, yeah.
Where people rotate.
Yeah. But also the dinners.
Yeah. Well, we have some secrets for this that I'm not so sure if I should mention them, but we can always edit them out.
We can always cut it off.
It's not a problem. But so I
put something in the food.
I go to a lot of events. So as a director of a chamber, you get invited to many. So there are many things at events that, although not planned, they go in a certain way that I don't like personally.
What is it that you don't like at events, formal events?
Okay, just for example, let's say you go to a big celebration where the dinner for 200 people, you are invited at the table. There is this moment when you enter the sala that they release you. They tell you you are at table number 12, and then when you arrive at table number 12, there already some people are seated. They are not told where to sit, so there are some gaps, so it becomes a bit uncomfortable. These people, they don't always feel the need to introduce themselves, or if you're later. So at my events, just a detail, I make sure that as soon as you come into the sala, you are guided to the table. And you arrive at the table where the table seatings are already done. And whether we do that with sponsors, that we tell the sponsor who do you want to sit where, or we do it ourselves. But it are these tiny little things that make the flow of an event better. You arrive in a much better feeling at the table when you arrive and you get a glass of wine and somebody takes you by the hand, puts you at the table, then you're rather kicked inside of the sala and you have to wait. It are these kind of things. I also have a problem all the time that if you go to an event, you have to stay till the end. I mean, it's not a birthday party where you can just leave. So you have to make sure that people find it interesting to stay, and you have to analyze also then who is with who on the table. So we at the N.R.C.C. make an effort before each event, who we sit with each other at the table, to make sure that certain level is with certain level, so that people don't get bored, so that conversations are going. And on top of that...
So you're matching people at
Yeah,
the
but
table.
they don't really know that. We do that. So the night before the event, because you know how it goes, many people confirm, and at the night before they cancel. The night before the event, at 2 o'clock at night, when we are done with the setup, we are actually making all the table settings.
Membership 4 years ago, membership today.
Yeah.
What is the gap? What is the difference? How
Well,
many people did you brought in?
No, it's not only what I brought in.
Well, everybody as a team.
Yeah, so 4.5 years ago when I started, the chamber had around 60 paying members. I mean, every chamber has more members, but we are talking about what actually paid. 60. And now we are over 200.
Wow.
So we are a member-based organization. So the first thing I did was, of course, listen to my board, but also listen very carefully to what members expect from the N.R.C.C.
How much do they pay and what do they get for the money?
What they pay, it depends on the type of membership, which depends on the size of your company. So we have roughly 3 types: smaller companies that pay around 350 euro, medium-sized companies that pay around 650 euro, and large companies, large members like Philips, Heineken and so on, they pay 1,200 euro. The benefits for all of them are the same, with the exception that the largest members, the corporate patron members, they are invited each year to the CEO dinner, which is solely for the CEOs and spouses of these largest members. For the rest, they all benefit in the same way. They are accessible also and approachable in the exact same way. Also in our board, any member of the N.R.C.C. Once a year can put himself forward at the General Assembly to be elected in the board. We don't have appointings or these kind of things, or that a size of company matters the weight you put in the board. We are pretty Dutch, to say like that, and transparent, so everybody can have a go at it.
Now, what do you get if you're a member? What is your, I don't know, output? What do you take from these events throughout the year?
We try to understand that if you have over 200 members, the trap of an executive team is to want to please the bulk. So the trap here is that when you organize an event or a field trip, that you keep saying, oh, there are not enough people. Now, I've learned that every member of the chamber, despite the fact that they're all in it to grow their connections, so eventually grow their business, they all have different needs. So if I go to Bulgaria with 8 members that are interested in meeting Bulgarian companies, then for me it's a success, because there are apparently 8 companies that wanted that, so we do that. If I do a night of the SMEs and there come 100 people because they are all the SMEs and also external SMEs, we do a good job, because it shows that what we had in mind as content and as an event for them. So if you are a member, you have an array of things you can choose from, ranging from a knowledge center where you present your expertise to members, to N.R.C.C. TV, where you get a professional interview that is distributed by the N.R.C.C. There are things to promote your company, there are things that are about sharing knowledge, there are things about going to other cities, there are things to visit places, it's connections. We offer this whole palette, so we are not only focusing on, for example, helping Dutch companies operate better in Romania. We try to help all our members, and we do that by offering all kinds of activities that are useful for them.
I know other chambers of commerce in Romania are involved in trying to influence policies, trying to influence governments, and trying to have more like a public stance towards civic activism. You're not like that.
No, the official position of the N.R.C.C. is that we are a business community for our members, and that we speak out when it's business related. Although I agree with you that in Romania, politics and business, they are getting strangled a lot. I can tell you that in the board, when something happens in Romania, there is this balance between the Romanian board members that feel that we as an N.R.C.C. should speak out on something, Dutch board members, or I should say board members from Dutch companies, that are more careful with that. And that there will always be this balance between the Romanian board members that feel that we should speak up and that the Dutch companies that have a sort of a different interest.
What's happening this fall? Events, places to go to, what do you recommend?
So the night of the SMEs is in Bucharest.
Right.
It's for SMEs in Bucharest, and the gala in Cluj is where we try to connect Bucharest to Cluj.
Cluj seems to be shaping up as the second business capital of Romania.
Now seems to be shaping up, has been that for quite some time.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. How many companies are hailing from Cluj in N.R.C.C.?
At the moment we have around 25 members from Cluj, something like that. There should be more.
Entertainment and content part this fall, what's happening?
We have these two big dedicated events, which for us it's important. And we have planned also a trip to Bulgaria to meet the Bulgarian Chamber of Commerce. That's in October. And for the rest we have the normal network drinks and knowledge centers. But everybody who is connected to the N.R.C.C. will receive notifications by email, newsletter or Facebook.
So we're having fun this November?
In October and November we will have some fun, yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, Maurits Dohmen, the guy who is putting the fun into N.R.C.C. and also the content and the reasons to go there and not clear your mind, fill it up. This has been N.R.C.C. Business Talk with Lucian Mîndruță and Maurits Dohmen. Thank you for sharing.